An unexpected twist in the Kofi Goodman murder trial today.
Both sides gave closing submissions.
But as Foreign Carey tells us, the accused also had something to say.
By murder accused Kofi Goodman, he shouted, "I didn't kill anyone and I don't want to listen to any more lies." He also asked who would kill somebody and put them next to their house. Goodman then asked to be taken back to Central Station, and the court complied after he agreed for the matter to continue in his absence. Now, all of this took place during closing submissions. Goodman's attorney, Jeffrey Farquharson, told jurors there is no direct evidence linking 38-year-old Goodman to the murder of Marco Archer. Prosecutors are relying on forensic and circumstantial evidence to prove their case. However, Farquharson asked jurors not to jump to conclusions or make any assumptions based on the evidence, but to review it carefully. He attacked the prosecution's case, suggesting that they let important pieces of information slip through their fingers. He asked jurors to acquit Kofi Goodman and not to make any emotional decision or allow the prosecution to, quote, use him as a murder weapon to kill the defendant, end quote. In laying out the Crown's case, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions Gavin Gaskin told jurors Goodman was responsible for abducting 11-year-old Marco Archer, and his motive was to have unlawful sex with the child, who was later found naked. Gaskin noted that Goodman tried to impose his sexual intentions on young Archer, but the 11-year-old was a fighter and, as a result, was brutally murdered. Gaskin also indicated that Goodman tried to destroy the forensic evidence by painting his Yorkshire Street apartment. He noted that Goodman placed Archer's body in his backyard and, due to a public outcry, separated the clothing from the body, placing them in the garbage. He suggested that Goodman hoped garbage collectors would get rid of the clothing, noting that the garbage truck passed through Goodman's corner on the very day police found the clothing. Gaskin noted that if the collectors had come 15 minutes earlier, the clothing would have been gone forever. Gaskin said Goodman used the days prior to his arrest as cleanup days. He showed jurors crime scene photos of the vehicle Goodman drove, pointing out a large number of cleaning products, including bleach, a water jug, a cloth, ammonia, festival, and Tylex. Now, all that's left is for Justice Bernard Turner to sum up the case and direct jurors on the law. Once that is done, Kofi Goodman's fate will then be in the hands of the jury. Foreign Carey, ZNS Network News.
Local entrepreneurs come up with some new strategies to boost the interest of students at the primary school level. Duke Glinton believes his new educational games about Bahamian history and the sciences should be highly considered by the public and private school sectors. LaDon Davis tells us more in this Eye on Education feature.
The Island Voyage and The Factory are games of chance that ask frequent trivia questions about the rich history of the Bahamas and the world of science that many Bahamians, young and old, are not familiar with. Questions like, what is the mythical creature that Androsians believe live in the pine forest? Or what is a mollusk found in the ocean? Well, the answers are simple and catchy. Entrepreneur and creator Duke Glinton believes these new games will make learning a whole lot easier for children between the ages of 5 to 12 in the comfort of their own homes. The James Cistern Lutheran native told us just how the games work.
It's a game, and once kids, once it's a game that you're presenting to kids automatically become interested, even if it's close. So when you open it and they see how exciting it is, they automatically become interested. But the trick behind it is that you're more like tricking kids into learning.
Improving the national D average in the school system is also a major concern for Glinton, and that is why he is now attempting to get his games on the local market.
Well, the Ministry of Education are interested in both of these games, the Island Voyage and the Spider. Okay, but they haven't made a decision on what they're going to do as yet. Okay, but they like the Spider. They like the Island Voyage and they like the Factory. Okay, but I guess we're in talks now, so just a matter of them deciding what they're going to do.
While many believe social ills can distract students from learning, this father of two believes the recycled teaching methods in the classroom also play a factor.
I think, based on what I observed, a few of them. And like I say, kids, they love excitement. Okay, and whatever you do, if it's not an exciting way, they're not going to be interested. Okay, whatever it is, and games are the ultimate excitement. Okay, so that's really the purpose, like I say, of these games being created, to make education fun in the ultimate way.
Glinton says the Island Voyage has been sold and is now in circulation in at least 5 primary schools across the capital. Meantime, the Factory, focusing on the science aspects of learning, is also being prepared for local distribution. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the Free National Movement is hosting its first Track and Field Classics August 17th as part of their annual fun day in honor of the party's past chairman and former cabinet minister, the late Charles Maynard, who passed away suddenly almost a year ago. During a press conference at the old site of the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium, executive members of the party announced the event and took time to remember the contributions of the former party chairman. His father, Andrew Dud Maynard, thanked the party and stated that they must continue to embrace young people in politics.
Charles was my most determined child. As a matter of fact, Mr. Ingram told me sometimes he felt like choking him because he wouldn't shut up until he got heard. He wanted to be heard, and a lot of times he brought out things that they weren't thinking of. So it's good, and I want you to know that, Mr. Chairman, that it'll be good for the FNM to continue to hear young people and let young people work in the system and make their contribution.
Meantime, party leader Dr. Hubert Minnis said that party members and Bahamians at large miss the former cabinet minister. Dr. Minnis also described him as generous and hardworking. Shauna Lee Ferguson is organizing the Track and Field Classic in Maynard's honor.
Charlie had a vibrant, youthful spirit, filled with an enduring passion to serve. As much as he loved his family, his party, and his country, Charlie had an even greater love for the youth of our nation. For him, being appointed as Minister of Youth and Sports and Culture in the former FNM administration was a most fitting accomplishment.
Track and Field Classic, not just about track and field, but about our culture, how we play, how we recreate. So in addition to traditional track and field events, like 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, and the relays, we've got some interesting things.
Well, coming up, softball in full swing last night. We got all the highlights.
And the Golden Girl has her take on the new Olympic medalists of the country. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. Minister for Grand Bahama Michael Darville said government is no longer talking about financing businesses, but it's put resources into agencies such as the Bahamas Entrepreneurial Venture Fund to bring some relief to small business persons throughout the country. The minister said for the first time, government is going to bring to Parliament a small to medium-sized enterprise development bill. He said the legislation will set the groundwork necessary for small businesses to thrive and take their rightful place as true engines to fuel the economy. Darville's comments came as he addressed the Bahamas Entrepreneurial Venture Fund Limited Forum 2013 in Grand Bahama. With a threat of a possible aviation downgrade and the Bahamas being given time to address deficiencies, aviation legal expert Llewellyn Boyer Cartwright said it's time to establish an international aircraft registry excellence to ensure high standards in the sector. He said the warning of being downgraded from Category 1 to 2 is serious. The former commercial pilot said he's aware government is working diligently to make changes, including changing the framework within which the industry operates, but he said the Bahamas cannot afford to become a registry of convenience. And for those of you in Raleigh, North Carolina, looking for a tropical getaway this winter, then the Bahamas might just be the stop for you. Delta will commence a non-stop flight to Nassau from Raleigh-Durham International Airport. The service will start on December 21st, a few days before Christmas, and will be offered year-round each Saturday. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain.